MMA Heart. Today I'm here with Raphael Ouellet. Of course, today in the morning we all heard the big news. Raphael Ouellet's fight versus Austin Batra is now off. So, man, I just want to give you the floor, man, and just say what you got to say, because yesterday Austin came on my show and he had a lot to say about you. So, just wondering, your side on this story.
Yeah, I feel like when I seen that interview with you guys, I had a gut feeling when he fucking mentioned his hand there. I was like, usually keep that private, and like shit happens in a fight camp, right? Like my brother had a little hand thing in his last fight. We didn't get it checked out or anything, but like couldn't punch with it, and he still, like, once you sign on the dotted line, it's like a fighter's mentality that no matter what injury really you may have like built in during fight camp, you still fucking show up. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot that goes into like
Absolutely
a fight lining up, And so as soon as you mentioned that in the interview, I was like, that's kind of fucking fishy, Like, why would you mention that and say that you've been babying it since we've been in camp for fucking 4 to 6 weeks. Like, I don't really know when he signed his contract, but I've been in camp for quite a little bit here, and like, I would not be babying my shit. Like, or if I was, I wouldn't be mentioning it on a fucking interview. I'd still be like, I'd baby it till the fight and show up to the fight. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, they fucking told me the news. Fucking, I messaged him a little thing after that. I seen the interview yesterday. I was like, just fucking show up with your brittle hands, and he fucking messages me like I'm on my. I did a little 10K this morning, and I'm like halfway through my 10K. I get to the lake where I usually take like a little rest and like take in the view, and then I like run back. It's like 5 and 5 kind of thing, and then I get like halfway, like I get to the lake, and then I get a message from Jay, or actually I get a message from Batra saying I just broke my hand, and I'm like, fucking, of course you did.
Wow.
And then I quickly get a message from Jay right after saying the whole thing, and I get on the phone with Jay and tells me that he's going to be looking for an opponent for me. And, like I told him I'm never going to fucking fight Austin Batra professionally. It's not going to happen. This guy is a waste of time. This is a public service announcement for any professional fighter out there. This guy is a fake fighter, just like, I'm not going to name any names. Actually, fuck it, I am. Ryan Rahovich, guys like that, guys that will put their name on a dotted line and then pull out for the slightest little thing. This is not something that professionals do. It's not something that I want to associate myself with anymore. It's fucking bullshit. It's a waste of time. I put in a lot of training, a lot of time dieting, a lot of effort, money into this shit. And he's wasted my time. If I don't get someone in front of me, it's going to be very fucking upsetting. So I'm showing up on weight. I'm going to be, hopefully they find me a guy that I can show up and like, actually have someone leading up for this 2 weeks. And then if not, I'm just going to show up on weight. And if someone pulls out or something happens near my weight category, I'll fucking hop in, But my buddy Nelson's still fighting, so I'm going to be there supporting him anyway. So, yeah, shit's fucking wild, man. Crazy fucking sport.
Now, Raphael, I want to ask you, were you initially surprised, yesterday when you saw that interview, especially, of course, seeing how much he had to say about you? And, I was a little surprised myself, caught a little off guard, but I decided not to say anything. Because he said that he came on late to the interview, like a couple hours later than we originally planned. He said he just woke up. He said he had a long night, celebrating some wedding. So I was surprised that he's out there, celebrating, having long nights just 2 weeks away from the fight. Of course, he starts talking about the injury. So, man, just wondering, how much were you surprised by the trash talk? And are you a guy who likes trash talking yourself?
Man, I've been finding out I'm not fucking, like, the extent of my trash talk is like, fuck you, I'm going to beat your ass. That's like my type of trash talk. I'm not huge into this whole, like, your camp is this, your camp is that, this and that. Fucking, I don't know. The battle of the words is fucking ass. I like to talk shit when I'm beating your ass. Like, if I fucking smack you in the face, I'm going to talk some shit after. Like, that's fun to me. But this whole schoolyard fucking pussy girl fucking talking shit online, personally messaging each other, this is fucking bullshit to me. I'm not a big fan of it. I mean, I get it sells a fight, and I'm gonna fucking sell a fight, Like, I'm gonna talk my shit, But this guy was talking a huge game, and I don't think he understands that I'm not just a fucking grappler. He was talking about my early amateur days when I was taking the quickest path to victory, which was pulling guard and submitting these motherfuckers. Like, I have a way higher caliber of jiu-jitsu than most of these MMA guys, and the reality of the situation at professional is it's not that entertaining to just be fucking pulling guard, and also you lose rounds like that, so people are good at stalling. So I've changed my game a lot. I've put in a lot of effort and time into my striking and my wrestling and all my other aspects of my game that this motherfucker was not mentioning. And it's been fucking 4 years since the fight that he was talking about, and I'm a different person. So at the end of the day, it would have been a wake-up call for him on fight day, but this motherfucker wasted his opportunity, and if he wants to catch these hands, it's going to be on the streets where there's no ref to pull me off of him, because I'm not signing up to waste my fucking time with this guy professionally.
And Raphael, I'm just wondering, how do you see, how do you think that this fight would actually play out if it did happen? Because of course Austin was out there saying, that he would TKO you in the second round. He said that, but you said that, you can surprise him with your stand up. You're not just a grappler. So do you think that these dudes, out there are, just underestimating you and not taking you seriously and not giving you the credit that you actually deserve?
Yeah, man. Like, fuck. At the end of the day, I don't really like I would have surprised him on fight day. I'm not going to be there talking and be like, oh, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to do. I would have just showed up and punched him in the face. And then he would have been like, and then what? Like, the reality of the situation is the fight starts on the fucking feet. And I have a backup plan of jiu-jitsu. It's always in my back pocket, but that's not the only thing I have. And I have just as many tools as he did on the feet, So I would have fucking rung his bell, and then what? Like, he would have fucking came in my world and probably got choked. That's my realistic fucking expectation of how the fight would have went.
And do you think that you would pick him up? Do you think that you would pick him up on the feet? Because you're much rangier, much taller. Do you think that that range would play a big factor as well?
Yeah, it would have fucking been on my toes. I would have landed my shit. I seen the little interview you guys did where he wanted to like go in the center and do the whole Max Holloway tag.
Yeah.
I would have loved to do that. Like, and the reality is, I would have loved to do a full 15 minutes with this motherfucker standing. Like, he would have, like, my favorite takedown, punch you in the face, come in my world. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't need to fucking take you down. You're gonna hate what I'm doing to you on the feet, and you're gonna try to take me down, bitch. You know what I mean? So.
And Raphael, some other, let's move on now. What's going to be next in your career? You said you might still fight on May 9th, BFL 80. So some other fights on this card are, Taylor Christopher versus Raphael Palomares, featherweight bout as well. Or, could we see you as a backup for that title fight? Would you be open to fight, Radley Da Silva, the featherweight champion, if Caleb Moctezuma was, to pull off and, this fight? Or can we see a completely different opponent for you?
Anyone, anytime, any place, man. I don't give a fuck. Like, I'm gonna be there on weight if they don't find me someone prior. If they find me someone beforehand, I'm gonna sign the contract for that, and we're gonna fight with that guy. Like, I'm gonna say yes to whoever the fuck is available and wanting. Like, catch these hands.
And moving away from BFL 80 now, I saw that you guys live in Powell River BC with your brother. So how much does it mean for you, to represent the people in that part of the world, represent that small town, and how much does it mean for you to represent you guys, your town out there?
Yeah, man, it means a lot. Like, Powell River is a small little town here, and it's like, you make a little splash, and there's a lot of noise in this town. So, you know what I mean? It means a lot to just represent, and it's gonna be something I'm gonna do for the rest of my life. Like, me and my brother, like, where we grew up, man. So it definitely means a lot.
And then also just wondering, what is the life out there like in Powell River? Just what is it like living there? Is it very peaceful, very quiet?
Fuck, man. I would
Beautiful
turn
nature.
my camera around.
Beautiful
I'd turn my
nature.
camera around, but I mean,
Yeah.
this is my backyard. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
Birds are chirping. There's like fucking mockingbirds and shit. It's beautiful out here, man. There's wildlife, nature. It's a great place to live, man. I've bounced around in big cities and shit, and this is by far, like, this is home.
And I also want to ask you about your own gym that you and your brother are running, Powell River BJJ. Just wondering, what is the future like for that gym? What are your future plans for your gym? And also, Would you be able to mention some names of the guys that we should be on the lookout for? Some guys on the come up from your gym.
Yeah, man. Like fuck, Powell River Brazilian Jiu Jitsu is the name. Really, really, there's 3 guys fighting currently. It's me, my brother, and Nelson Spreeuw. Those are the guys fighting right now. There's definitely some guys who are interested in coming up and going up the amateur ranks and, you know, doing it the right way. So you're gonna hear of those guys coming up soon. But right now, it's you gotta look out for Nelson's fight on May 9th, man. This guy's gonna represent the club well. He's gonna put this guy's lights out one way or another, whether it's on the feet or via submission. Like, Nelson is a pro amongst amateurs, and it's just going to be proved on fight day.
And is there any news about your brother, Nicolas Ouellete? He got a big win on BFL 79. So any news about his fighting career?
Yeah, Nick's fucking killing it. He just finished that Mexican on BFL 78, I think it was. And yeah, well, I'm 79, or I think there was one in between. I'm not sure. Fuck, but he's doing his thing, man. We're gonna keep taking these guys out till we get to a higher promotion or wherever this road takes us. Like, there's no realistic end goal. It's just wherever we can take it. You know what I'm saying? The sky's the fucking limit. So like, we're both just taking one head at a time, throwing it to each other. You know, here you go, one for the mantle kind of thing. One, fucking keep chipping away at the tree, you know.
And Raphael, I myself, have 4 younger brothers. Just wondering, about that brotherhood relationship between you guys and how much MMA plays into that as well. So has MMA helped you guys, to make that, brotherhood bond even stronger?
Yeah, man. I remember like one Easter, instead of getting chocolate, we got UFC gloves, like replica gloves, and we just fucking scrapped. And it was like, I was like 8 or 7. You know what I'm saying? Like, this has been something I've been in. I was in diapers, on tatami mats, doing karate and shit. Like, I've been in martial arts my whole life, and it really set in that I wanted to test my fighting skills when, like, I started seeing like Kimbo Slice and Chuck Liddell and BJ Penn, like early days of UFC. And yeah, like, fuck, scrapping with my brother since an early age in the backyard, just on the grass, fucking at the beach, like, it's definitely the roots of where I come from, me and my brother.
And
I remember skipping school and fucking going to scrap too with the homies. Like, there was a few guys that like to put on gloves and scrap, so going to skip school and go scrap instead of going to math class, so it's something I've definitely had my mind set on since a very early age.
And Raphael, I just recently moved here to Toronto, but I used to live in BC for 7 years. I used to live in Kamloops, but I am from Kyrgyzstan myself. So I'm just wondering, what do you know about Kyrgyzstan? What do you know about, Central Asia, those Russian, post-Soviet Union, Russian-speaking countries? What do you know about that part of the world? And would you ever consider, coming to Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Uzbekistan as a tourist and visiting that part of the world?
Absolutely, man. I have a bunch of friends that are Russian, like, from that part of the world. And
okay.
Yeah, I absolutely, like, it would be an honor to go visit that part of the world. And I mean, I don't know much about you guys' like world out there, but I'm sure it's like, I mean, we're all people, right? Like, so you go over there and people are just as friendly in a different, like, culture is different everywhere. But I mean, at the end of the day, we're all fucking people. So I would love to go visit those people and fight for you guys, or even just go visit, right?
I mean, of course, you're an elite level grappler yourself. So would you ever consider, coming, for example, to Dagestan and doing a training camp in Dagestan and, wrestling with those, Dagestani fighters, Chechnya fighters as well?
For sure. Yeah, that would be an honor, man. You bring in that West Coast grappling to those guys, it would be great. Yeah, I'm sure it's a complete different look than they're used to,
And also, wondering what is, your ultimate MMA goal? Is it to get to the UFC? And of course, how open are you to fighting, outside of Canada as well?
And it's any promotion, really. Like, I'm just trying to get to the highest level I can, whether that's fucking the UFC or PFL, BFL. I don't really care too much the name of the promotion, you know. I'm just trying to take it one fight at a time, and I'm still young in the game. I'm 25 years old, you know. I still have like 15 years that I can realistically put into this game, and I'm gonna do just that. So I think the sky's the limit, and you're gonna see me in a big show sooner than later.
And Raphael, I just
BFL is
have
a fucking show right now, though. Like
That's
BFL,
right.
all the respect to them. They're doing the right thing, you know. Like that's the show to be at in Canada right now. That's for sure.
And Raphael, I just have a couple last questions before I let you go. UFC 300 just happened, and of course, Renato Moicano, in his post-fight speech, he said that he cannot afford to lose no matter what happens. You're one of your only losses. You only have two losses, I believe. One of them was to Damon Marlow, but then you were able to avenge that loss. You finished the guy. So just wondering, in this point in your career, in your next fight, do you carry that same mindset as Renato Moicano, and do you also feel that you cannot afford to lose anymore?
Man, I could never afford to lose. Even when I lost, I could not afford to lose. You know what I'm saying? Like a loss and a win is everything in the sport. Like so, realistic, it's kill or be killed. When I lose, it's in the past. It's all been decisions. So realistically, in my mind, they didn't kill me. You know what I'm saying? It's a loss, but on paper, you got to kill me in there, man, or else they're gonna take me out by decision, just like the other two. But you know what
And
I'm
I
saying? Like,
just
I feel like that's my mentality. That's my mentality, man. It's to the death. You got to take me out, man. And I'm gonna take you out before you take me out. That's how it's gonna go.
And Raphael, I always wanted to ask a professional fighter this question. In Russia, in our countries, they say that if you fight in the street, you should never go on the ground because someone can jump in and kick you in the head or whatever. But just wondering, how much do you think BJJ, Jiu Jitsu can help in a street fight?
One-on-one, it's what you like. Absolutely, like it's gonna fucking change night and day, right? Like, but I can fully agree with that. That in a like group situation, you probably don't want to go on the ground for too long, you know. But I mean, there's a lot of things that I could realistically say are jujitsu that I'm doing on the feet. You know what I'm saying? Like fighting's fighting. Like I don't have to label shit. You know what I mean? Like, so if it's keeping you safe, do that shit.
And my last question for you, Raphael. I believe that from your last name, you're French Canadian, is what my understanding is. So just wondering, what do you think it will take from Canada and from all of us here in Canada to of course there can only be one GSP, but what do you think it will take for Canada to raise the next elite UFC world champion who will follow GSP's footsteps?
Man, it's gonna fucking be me or my brother or Nelson. It's gonna be one of us three, man. You're gonna see us fucking take some heads and like realistically fuck everyone else. It's our team, man. that's what it's gonna be. So you're gonna see me and my brother taking over here, man, and we're gonna be represent Canada and French Canadians worldwide, and you're gonna see us on a big show here, both of us.
Sounds good, man. And thank you very much for your time today. It was great talking to you. But Raphael, can we get a final message for all the Raphael Ouellet fans out there worldwide?
Oh, 100%, man. Hey, first off, Andrew Sissel, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, what's up? Represent. Andrew Sissel is the fucking man. That's the guy who gave me my black belt. That's the guy who gave my brother his black belt. That's the guy who's gonna give Nelson his black belt when he gets his. He's professor. You know what I'm saying? Like, shout out Andrew, my brother Nelson. The whole team at Powell River BJJ. The homies over at Van Al BJJ. I haven't been there in like forever, but like those are the homies. Like Martial Arts Unlimited in Victoria as well. There's way too many people to name, but like at the end of the day, shout out everybody. You know what? My people know me. You know who you are. So you're gonna see me in the cage, whether it's fucking May 9th or on the next BFL show. It's fucking bullshit. These fake ass fighters just signing when they know they have an injury, they have an out like built into their head. I got shit I'm dealing with. I would have showed up. I am going to show up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like everyone's got shit they're dealing with, like professional. So you're going to see me sooner than later, man. Represent.
Absolutely.
Powell River.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for your time today, Raphael.
Awesome. I appreciate the opportunity, man. You do a great job. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks so much.